So today I'm here with a new video, and if you don't know who I am, my name is Lisa. I'm a cruelty YouTuber that's trying to be a long nobody, and today I am going to try to do a talk video, and I'm going to put on my makeup and talk about brands that is no longer active, no longer available, that I really miss, and also about some brands that are still out there but that I just missed. So this is going to be a trip down memory lane, and yeah, I'm just going to talk about the brands that I miss. And the palette I'm going to use today, first of all, like, maybe I should use a palette from one of these brands, but I've talked about this palette now in some videos and I really want to use it. It's this one, the Tinker Bitch and Colourpop palette. It's Sprinkle a Little Magic. And if you don't know how this looks, it looks like this. So I'm going to do something with this one, I think. Yeah, we'll just wait and see. So I will prime my eyes and then I guess we just get started with this. So I guess I'm just going to put the shades that I'm using down in the description so we don't concentrate about that much. So yeah, brands that I do miss, and I have been on YouTube for a while, some years now, and there has been brands that has come and gone. And I remember when I started on YouTube, like, then it was the Balm was very like popular and kind of unique, and they weren't that many indie brands. Or okay, there was indie brands, like Too Faced was an indie brand before, and I guess that Urban Decay, now they are owned by L'Oreal if I'm not mistaken, or is it Estee Lauder? But yeah, like smaller indie brands were really popular for a while, and I think it came when it was like rainbow palettes became really popular, and different color stories, because I remember, like, is it the Electric palette from Urban Decay that was like one of the most special palettes out there, and then KVD came out with the Vida Loca, you know, that palette that so many had as their the one that did get away, and that was really special, like the most special thing you can buy for a while. But then there came a lot of smaller indie brands, both from the US and from the UK and from other parts in the world as well. And at that time, it was when I started like really getting into makeup and really started to getting into YouTube and just watching a lot of makeup content and doing a lot of makeup content myself. And there is some brands that I do really miss. I don't know though if I would have loved them now, but you know, when you think of a brand that has been really special to you and you think about it now and it's not just there anymore, it's gone. And one of the biggest brands for me was Blush Tribe. I did love Blush Tribe. I think I hopped on it kinda early. I know, like, around the Hasina 2 palette, then before that they had released some palettes, but then the Hasina 2 palette came, and a lot of people that I followed like raved about that palette. And at that time, like, a lot of color wasn't my thing, and especially not like green and stuff like that, but a lot of people that I follow raved about Blush Tribe, so I wanted to test it out. I bought it and I fell in love. Like, the Hasina 2 has been one of my favorite palettes for so long, and then the Paulina palette came out and I bought it, and I was one of those who always bought the new Blush Tribe palettes. Like, I was on the site updating and updating just to get a hold of all the palettes, and I guess we were a few of us that did that, and I do really miss that time because it was so fun, and I did really love Blush Tribe. I thought it was an amazing brand, and it was just one of my favorite brands. You know, a brand that you like, you can't get enough, you just want more and more and more. But then I can't remember because she tried to like redo her brand, and she was it Mayali Beauty? First she was like, no, I'm not going to sell any more makeup, and then she sold out everything. I think like things died down. Then she tried to renew herself, and then it was just not good anymore. But I remember, like, even though I didn't use Blush Tribe that much when they closed down, it still made me kind of sad because I have really been loving Blush Tribe for kind of a long while. And another brand that is still available, but like, I don't get how this brand does survive. I always get like the same shock every time because I follow them on Instagram, and I always get so shocked when I see a post from them, and I'm like, yeah, you are still like up and running, but like not releasing any new palettes, and I don't know. And that is Certify. I did have 2 palettes from them. The Tropical Wonders, that was a really good rainbow palette, a matte rainbow palette, and the Destiny, I did really love them, and like that Tropical Wonders was one of my absolute favorite palettes, and I just loved that rainbow palette. And then they came out with like a green and blue palette, and they were really big at one time. But now, like, I don't see anything from them, and I am getting shocked every time I see like the up in my Instagram feed. And I'm like, are you really still available? Like, are you still selling palettes? But apparently, I know they went over to like glitters, I guess it was, and eyelashes. And I think they came to Beauty Bay for a short while, but like now, I don't know. I never see any videos about Certify. I never see anyone that I follow on Instagram that post about Certify, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they survive, actually. I have no idea. And as I said, I'm always getting like so confused, not confused maybe, but so surprised every time I see them in my Instagram feed. And another brand that I do miss, but that is also still up and running, and that is Makeup Addiction. And I do not understand what they are doing. I have one palette for Makeup Addiction, the Flaming Love. That is one of the most amazing palettes with shimmers I have. Like, the shimmers are insane. And they are so good. The shimmers, the matte are also good, but like the shimmers in that palette, it is something special with it. And they have come out with some other palettes. I was really excited and was so close to buy a palette that I can't remember the name of even. And then they were like coming out with their old palettes but in new packaging, and I never got it. I don't know, is that really a good idea? I think it's just a strange thing to do. But they are also like still up and running, and I do not get how. because I think as a makeup brand, and especially an indie brand, you have to release things like kind of often, a couple of times a year, just so people see you and have something new to buy, because you're not going through an eyeshadow palette in a couple of months. You are not. And then there are also some brands that is still. And then I have another brand that I don't have that many things from, but it is a brand that has a special place in my heart, because it was one of I think it was the first US brand I ever tried, and the first like eyeshadow from that brand that I tried that I have been having a crave for, like I was craving this shadow, and that is Makeup Geek. I bought the Bitten, and that was my favorite eyeshadow for such a long time, and I did really love that shade, and I bought some other singles, and it was really special for me to buy Makeup Geek shades. But they actually closed down, and I'm not like super sad about it because I miss their products, but I just miss like the Makeup Geek thing. And like, I remember when I bought that one, I bought it from the US, the Bitten shade. I remember when I opened the package and I got like to swatch it and everything, and I was like blown away. I was so impressed, and I think I have around 15 Makeup Geek shadows. Like I don't use them that much. And I also have a palette, one with many MUA and Makeup Geek. I do love that palette still. It wasn't that long ago since I used it. But yeah, that is a brand that I feel a lot of people have the same feelings about Makeup Geek that I have, that you maybe not miss the brand, like you are sad that it's no longer available, but you like miss it because it has had some special meaning in your life. And I think it was because they were kind of early on with both single shades, and also like they have had their metallic shades and foil shades, I think. I think they were kind of early with that, so I guess it was special for a lot of people for that reason. So Makeup Geek is really a brand that I do miss, but I don't really know why. I thought that I could also talk about some brands that are still available, but has lost maybe like their spark. That is not like super interesting anymore. And one brand, I didn't know if I was going to talk about this brand, but I think I am, and it pains me a little bit, but I guess I just have to do it, and that is Kaleidos. And if you didn't know, Kaleidos has been one of my absolute favorite brand. I was on their PR list for a while, and I really bought everything from Kaleidos. Up until, I don't know if they have released anything. Yeah, they have released, I think, one quad before I went on my no-buy. And maybe I don't have all the lipsticks. I don't know. But like, I miss the old Kaleidos. I do think that the Flower Punk palette is good. But then, like, after that, I haven't been that excited. And I think it was yesterday when I'm filming this that they came out with something new, and I was not as excited that I think I would have been if it was a year ago. Even though, if I wasn't on my no-buy, it doesn't feel like I would have been excited. Like, the quads that they have released, I have not been like super thrilled about them. And I do love my face products that I have from Kaleidos. I do love my highlighters, and I have one of the contour sets. I do really love them, but I don't know. Maybe it is a small amount me being on a no-buy and a bigger amount that Kaleidos isn't just doing the fun things anymore. I think with like the latest two Futurism palettes, Lunar Lavender and Sashimi City, they lost something, and then they came out with the quads, and even though people say they are good, it's not the same hype as it was with the Futurism palettes or with the Escape Pod or the Club Nebula. It is not, and that makes me a little bit sad, but also a little bit happy, because now I don't feel like I'm missing out that much on Kaleidos, if I'm going to be honest. Is that a bad thing to say? I don't know. And okay, I'm going to take away my fallouts, and I have more brands to talk about, so I guess I'm going to do my base with you. I just have to clean this little babe. So I'm going to take away the fallouts, wash my sponge, and then we're going to continue, because I have some more brands that I want to talk about. I'm going to use my Nabla things for my face, and I hope it will work today. It's not always like the Skin Realist looks super good on me, but I'm going to try. So, okay. Which are the other brands that is still available, but I think have lost like their sparkle a bit, or that I miss, and wish that they would come back, but maybe not. But just a little bit. And first we can talk about Lime Crime. I know all like the controversies that has been about Lime Crime, and I know now they have been, I guess they changed like everything, like the owner and everything, and yeah, this video is not going to be about that. But Lime Crime, I have always been interested in Lime Crime. Like way back, Lime Crime did like amazing color stories and like kind of unusual color stories. I have two palettes from Lime Crime, Venus 2 and Preload Chroma. Like I remember when they came out with palettes and like people raved about them, but this was also like a lot of years ago when it was a little bit more special with Lime Crime, and I just miss that. I miss like being excited about Lime Crime, even though I didn't buy things directly, but I think there was a time when Lime Crime was so big. But I also guess it was because they were one of the first brands with doing something other than neutral palettes, and also like fun, a little bit quirkier packaging on their things, and just a little bit more unusual, and like their liquid lipsticks was one like of the most special liquid lipsticks for a while. I have some Lime Crime liquid lipsticks, and some of them are really good, like really good. But I have one, I think it's Wicked. It's awful. It is so patchy, and it just look like, yeah, it doesn't look good like at all. But they have some that are really good, and it feels like Lime Crime, they have lost like their time in the spotlight has been out for a while. And it's now, I just don't know if I'm going to wait a little bit for this Skin Realist, because I think you can see that it's not looking that good, but if we just give it a little minute, I think it will look better. I do really hope. And another brand that I miss that I've talked a little bit about in this video is KVD. I have some palettes. I have the Clutter some palettes. I still have the Saint and Sinner palette. But I remember how, like, when they came to Sweden, like to Sephora, and in the beginning with Sephora in Sweden, you couldn't order, like they didn't have a web shop. You had to buy it in stores, and they had like 3 stores in Sweden. And I remember when I was in one of the towns that had Sephora. It's only now in, I think, 3 towns. Still in Sweden, the 3 biggest towns. But now you can shop online from Sephora. And I remember when I was in one of these stores, and I was like so thrilled about going. The first thing I did was going to the KVD counter and just look at palette, look at the liquid lipsticks and everything. And I was just so, like, I was so happy. That was the first thing I wanted to do when I was in like Gothenburg in Sweden, just to go into Sephora and see all the stuff from KVD. And now KVD, it was a couple of weeks ago, I think, it came to 2 of the biggest beauty stores in Sweden. Because I wouldn't say that Sephora is one of the biggest in Sweden, actually. And I haven't been, like, excited. I know it's because a little part of my no-buy, but at the same time, I am like, I don't know if I would have been that excited even though I wasn't on a no-buy, because KVD has lost its spark for me a little bit. Maybe for a lot of us, but yeah, I don't know. It just feels like it's not the brand for me anymore. Even though I still have some liquid lipsticks that I do really love, because I think the formula is really good, but it's nothing that I am sad over that I have a no-buy right now. Okay, now I'm going to take the 2 reasons. And maybe that was actually all brands I wanted to talk about. Is there any brand that you like really miss? Or do you miss like a time on YouTube when it was super popular? Because I know now there is new indie brands in town, like Unearthly Cosmetics, and I know that Nomad is kind of big right now, and Glamlight, I know that, but is there any like special indie brand from before that you do really miss? Were you also on this Blush Tribe journey when everybody talked about the Blush Tribe and it was so hyped, so good, and just like everybody wanted the new Blush Tribe? Were you on YouTube then? And do you miss Blush Tribe? Because I do. Okay, now this looking so sad. My little powder that I am wondering how long it will survive before it starts to break even more apart. And now I'm actually going to do something that I know you're not supposed to do. I'm going to take this Teoresin and I'm going to take this highlighter shade over my powder. And with this one, it actually really works. You just have to work it up a little bit in the pan. Yeah, I'm going to fix my under eyes. No need to worry about that. I'm also going to put on some mascara, something in my waterline, and yeah, I'm going to finish this makeup off. Okay, so I'm going to fix the last things with my makeup, then I'm going to come back to end this video. So, for my waterline, I did use Honeydude from Colourpop. This one, as I always do. And for my lips, I actually took something a little bit more new that I usually don't take. It's the Majestick from LH Cosmetics in Not Mellow Mauve. This is in Sepia. And I think I do like it. It is I think it is a cool shade. It is kind of like a little bit brown, but not like, I don't know. I think I like it with this look. And that was all for this video. I do hope that you like it, and just tell me which brand you do really miss. Either a brand that is still available and still up and running, or if there is a brand that is no longer available that you still miss. I would love to know. I think it's so fun to talk about older makeup and all the makeup brands and like how they made us feel. I think that is really interesting. So yeah, I guess that was all for this video. If you're not subscribing to my channel, please do so you don't miss any of my videos, and I hope that I will see you in the next one. Bye!